I spoke with Danny Foxworth. I am your humble narrator, Danny Foxworth, and once again, we're well. I mean, he already graced you with his presence on At the Plate, and this time he's back for the sequel on Since We Last Spoke. So, without further ado, we got the good brother, purveyor of all things Dirty South, DJ Wally Sparks in the building. Wally Sparks was good with it. Man, all good over here, man. Glad to have you back.
What's happening, man? What's happening?
Yes, sir.
Man, I'm glad to be back, man. I enjoyed our last
Absolutely, man.
conversation.
No
So, man,
fabo.
I was geeked up to do this again with
So, Twinkle and Glisten. Your Twitch series.
you.
I mean, if you're not paying attention every Tuesday night, man, he's dropping all the Dirty South
Yes,
classics
sir.
on his Twitch channel, which is at DJ Wally Sparks. But he's taking it live and in living color this time on Saturday, August the 31st. Excuse
Right.
me, at the Loft in Atlanta, Georgia. If you in the area, please pull up because I know for sure it's going to be a throwdown. So,
Oh.
talk to us about how the Twankle and Glisten, the live show, came to be.
Oh, man. So, man, ever since I started doing the live stream, way back in 2020 during the pando, I would always get messages from people that would watch the streams like, man, you should make this like a actual party. And I thought about it. And here's the thing: like the Twankle and
Okay.
Glisten as an idea came to me well before I even started doing the live stream on Twitch. It just happens that the live stream became the place where
Mm-hmm.
I could accurately present the thought that I had in my head to an audience. Like I was having a hard time articulating what I actually wanted to do with it before. That's what kind of kept me from doing it prior to the pandemic. And then when the pandemic came, I started doing it on Twitch. I was like, oh, I can kind of find my audience and build from there. And ever since I started doing that on the stream, uh, like I said, man, I get DMs and text messages and emails. People be like, bro, you should do this live. It's like, uh, I mean, you got history and connections with all this music. You clearly are passionate about this particular subgenre of hip hop. You understand it and you present it in a way that makes other people enjoy it, even if they're not educated about it. So I just kind of sat on the idea, and until I thought, uh, I thought when would be a good time to do it. And there are a lot of things that transpired between the pandemic and 2024 that kind of gave me the clear path to be like, you know what, fuck it, man, let's go ahead and do it. And I uh, I eyed out a date, and I was like, I'm gonna give myself a 3 month runway for preparation and promotion. And here we are, man. We a week away
So,
from it,
who else is
August
going? What
31st.
other DJs are going to be on
Like
the
you
bill
said, at the
with you?
loft in Atlanta, Georgia, man. It's about to go down. Besides myself, I'll be there obviously. I got my homie Do Say the
Oh
Great,
wow.
and we got a real ill connection because he is Big Crit's current tour DJ, and a lot of people know me as I was Crit's first touring DJ. So I toured with Crit for 3 years. A lot of people might recognize me from my work with Crit on stage and off and in studio. Um, so Duce is gonna be there with me. He's gonna be doing this thing, and there's another guy named Supreme the DJ, who's legit one of my favorite DJs in Atlanta. Man, he's one of those. He's got that unexplainable thing
Mm-hmm.
that some DJs have and others don't. That he just gets it. You know what I'm saying? And he's one of those people that just gets it, and it shows in his performance. I've never ever heard a bad Supreme set. So and he's well rounded. And he was one of the people. He was one of the people that kept was in my ears like, "Hey, bro, whenever you decide you want to do Twankle and Glisten live, just call me. I'm with it. I'm with
Dope,
it."
dope.
So
And where
when
can
I
people
decided to do
get
it,
the
I called him
tickets?
up. He's like, "Hell yeah, let's go." So here we are, baby. Here we are. You can get tickets via Ticketmaster. You can look up Twankle and Glisten. That's TWANKLE ampersand and the word glisten. You can also get them at twankleandglisten.com, spelled TWANKLE, the letter NGLISTEN.com. And you can go to my website, djwallysparks.com, and click on the Twinkle and Glisten button on my website, and it'll take you right to where you can get tickets. Um, and they are on sale now. You can actually get 15% off regular price tickets if you use the code SOUTH at checkout. So I know Ticketmaster fees be kicking people ass, man. So I wanted to, you know, give them little discount to kind of offset that, so people can come kick it. You know. Also, but let me forget not before I forget, I wanted to mention that we are
Okay.
also having a happy hour courtesy of Crown Royal, and they're going to be providing complimentary cocktails for the first hour. So you need to get in there early, man, so you can go ahead and get you. I can't wait till I'm pretty sure I'll be able to post a drink menu before the week's out, and I can't wait to people see these fly cocktails we got coming. So it's gonna be a good time, man. Black people love Crown Royal. I love Crown Royal. They they supporting a young country boy. And they trying to get
Right
down with the
on.
dirty
And if
south
you
on
haven't experienced a
August
DJ Wally
31st, man,
Sparks
and
live set, I'm telling
I'm
you,
happy for it,
I
man.
had the pleasure of experiencing that during the Made Endurance Festival back in last September. And brother, it was a treat. It was a bona fide treat, man. Going from like, yeah, man. Yeah,
Right
yeah, I
on.
was there. Just going through the Dirty South
I had no
classics.
idea
Then
you
you
was
had a
there, bro.
go-go set. I was like, man, let's go. I was loving it, man.
Right.
Straight up.
Yeah, I try to go all around the world, man. I know there's a lot of
Yeah, that it did.
DMV
And I
transplants in the
also saw
Carolinas,
that
so I
this
figured that
past
that
Friday,
Dogo might
you were in
work out
St.
for me
Louis
this time, man.
DJing
You
for
know what I mean?
Project Pat for Art Beats and Lyrics, man. So what was that experience like for you?
That's right. So that was great, man. That was my second time DJing for Pat.
Okay.
We actually had him at RBC Lyrics in New Orleans during Essence Festival last month, also. So this was my second time DJing for
Mm-hmm.
Pat. And I mean, I'm a huge Project Pat fan, man. So it was a treat for me. You know what I mean? Like being up, like
Yeah.
I got to control the music and I got to pay attention to what's happening on the stage and make sure the show don't fall off the rails. But man, as soon as them songs start, I turn into a big old fan, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm turned up just like everybody else. So it's fun for me, man. It's a welcome fortunate circumstance from having this job, man. And I'm very appreciative that I get to do that kind of thing and be able to support people or artists rather that I grew up on and that mean a lot to me. You know what I mean? So getting the opportunity to play for Project Pat was great. And uh, I got to at because I don't know if Pat travels with a DJ or if his personal DJ is just. I have no idea what's going on, but for the
Oh,
past two times we've
yeah.
had him, I've had to do that, and they've allowed me to curate the set, so that's even more fun for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's a treat, man. I'm happy I get to
Man,
do
I
it,
was
man.
just thumbing
I'm
through
real I'm
your
real
IG
happy and
stories and
fortunate
I
that
was
I get
getting hyped.
to do stuff like that, man.
I was like, man, that's all right there, man. I could have been there. But man, we
Man,
gonna get into some wrestling talk
yeah,
because I know you are very
man,
passionate
it was crazy.
about
It was
all things in this pertaining to the square circle. So, what was your when
okay.
did your initial love for wrestling begin?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh man, my wrestling origin story started in 1987, Starcade '87, Chi-Town Heat. You know what I mean? So my granddaddy, God rest his soul, he was a huge wrestling fan. He's the reason that I'm a wrestling fan. My granddaddy, man,
Mm-hmm.
as I told you before, I have a large family on my maternal side, right? And my granddaddy, there's like a generation, a set of cousins, like they're like there's like a set of cousins that's like maybe 5 to 7 years older than me, and then that's a set of cousins where we were all born in the same year. I got two cousins that were born the same year, and then there's like a set of cousins that's maybe like 3 or 4 years younger than us. And because I was an only child, and I was probably the easy child to manage. I was over my grandmama's house a lot. Uh, um, and I just sit with him and watch,
Yep.
the NWA Saturday night, and when they came on Saturday morning, you know what I mean, with the blue and green ring, all the Jim Crockett promotion stuff. And I just sit there and watch it, and and that would be like our sort of bonding time, because
Yeah.
I would watch it with him. No one ever, some of my other cousins would watch it with him too, but they weren't into it. I was into it. You know what I'm saying? And uh, as a only child, often as a young, looking back on it, I'm pretty sure that I was always coveting attention from anyone. You know what I mean? Just because I was alone a lot. Um, and I remember just because Shot Time, this particular pay per view happened on Thanksgiving weekend. Um, and I remember Papa came and got me. He said, "Hey, come on, come with me," and he didn't tell me where we was going. He's like, "Just come with me." So we had he was an
Oh.
entrepreneur. He owned a locksmith service, Sanders Lock and Key in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's still active right now. My uncle runs it now. Um, uh, but we got in this van. We drove down to the UTC Arena. It's McKenzie Arena now, but UTC Arena back
Mm-hmm.
then. And I was like, "Where are we going?" I thought we was going to like the circus or something, because that's where usually we go when you go in the arena or something like that. We get in there. It's this big ass screen sitting in the
Mm-hmm.
middle of the floor where chairs would be for a concert or a stage or whatever, and it was closed circuit TV. And they were showing
Really?
they showed Chi-Town Heat, the Starcade '87 pay per view, and we watched it. And I was
Yeah.
already kind of a fan, but that turned me all the way up. You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy about it, looking back on it now, that show was kind of bad. But back then it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So the spectacle of of it all just made me a lifelong fan, and I fell
Yeah.
off a little bit during like the early 2000s, like during Triple H's reign of terror in WWE, and when Vince had the monopoly on everything, and that was pretty much the only game in town. That kind of I fell off a little bit around
Yeah.
that time, but for the most part, I've been a wrestling fan from '87 all the way up until now. You know what I mean? I was literally I'm about before this, I was like I told you, I was taking my son to get a haircut, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this with Danny, and then about to go watch the AEW pay per view that just went off. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
It's wild how
I'm
I
deep
have a
deep in it,
similar
man.
like my love for
I love
wrestling
pro wrestling. I
has
love it.
a similar origin because my papa he was huge in wrestling. That's my grandfather on my dad's side, to the point where like every other Saturday at the local
Hmm.
National Guard Armory they would have wrestling matches there, and he would take me like all the time, and I think that's where I got bit by the wrestling bug.
Hmm.
And my grandparents on my mom's side of the family, they had cable. So whenever I would go
That's
spend the weekends with them, my other cousins would stay there with weekends, the same weekends that I would be there. And like you said, every morning we'd get up and we'd watch WCW. like faithfully. Man, this is it's crazy how wrestling can have such a have such
Yeah,
a
man, it's great.
hold on the family like that. So who were some of your favorite wrestlers growing up?
Yeah, man. When I was a kid, I was into all the babyface wrestlers. So Sting, um, Dusty Rhodes, um,
Oh
Ricky
yeah.
Steamboat, um, Randy Savage on the WWF side, then the Hart Foundation, British Bulldogs
Oh
over there.
man,
Then
yes.
I was a big Rock and Roll Express fan. Uh, and Rock and Roll Express, You know, I was a big Midnight
Mm-hmm.
Express fan too. I just did earlier this year. I played this event here in Atlanta called Controllerize. It's a great event. Shout out to my homegirl Empress Ra and the homie Stolen Drums. It's the way I've described it to people. This is not their description, but the way I've
Okay.
described it to people, that it's a party for people who don't like to party, right? So how Controllerize is you
Mm-hmm.
the way it's set up. Well, we DJ from when the DJs come, we DJ sitting on a couch, right? And there's a couch and a coffee table in front of us, and they show like anime movies or things from the 80s and 90s. Just a whole lot of nerd and geek shit. And they have coloring stations where you can set up and you can go and you can sit in there and color.
Wow.
You can put headphones on if you don't want to be bothered and just want to listen to the music. And you can go dance in the corner. There are video games, all this kind of stuff set up. It's real cool. People come up, and there's a vinyl shop set up if you want to go dig through some crates. But I say all that to say, to bring it back to the wrestling point, is that when I did that set earlier this year, they asked me, they was like, "Hey, don't play like a party. Like, do things uh that are meaningful to you. Like show us your true self." And they were like, "Hey, man, we know you like a big wrestling buff. You a big wrestling buff, man. So if you throw some of that stuff in there." And I was like, "Okay, and
Hey, come on,
I was
man.
like, all right, I'll figure out something." And the first song I played in
Beautiful
my
Bobby
set was
eating
the
it.
Midnight
Beautiful
Express
Bobby
theme
eating and
from,
sweet Stan Lane.
what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And everybody, it was crazy. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly. Well, it was funny. There was like some younger kids because it'd be like there are people in there, Gen Xers that are my age, and there are people in there that are young. That they're millennials. They're older people that there's even some like
Mm-hmm.
boomer age people that be in this party. Because it's not necessarily a party. It's more like a gathering of people with music and food and all sorts of things. But what was crazy,
Yeah.
there were like some young kids that had never heard that before. It's like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what is, like, I
Mm-hmm.
never, because that whole this new vaporwave shit. That's what that kind of sound like. You know what I mean? But that's actually from the '80s. You know. So and at the end of the night, what made me so happy, there was a dude that came up to me and realized what I was doing. He was like, "Bro, man," he's like, "I can't believe you played the Midnight Express theme." I was like, "Bro, you knew
Yep.
what that was?" It made me so excited. That was the highlight of my night because somebody actually knew what I was playing. You know what I'm saying? It was worth me playing it because that one person figured out, or knew what it was and told me. He was like, "I can't believe you played that Midnight Express theme." I was like, "Hell yeah!" But yeah, those are some of my favorites. But
Let's
my
talk about it,
favorite
man.
of all time
Yes, sir.
uh, is Ric Flair. He's my favorite. As I got older, and realized what was actually going on in wrestling matches and understanding the psychology of how wrestling storytelling and physical storytelling work, I then started to realize why everybody revered Ric
Yeah.
Flair in the way that they did. Because as a young boy, I ain't understanding. I'm like, man, he always getting beat up. Why everybody like him? You know what I'm saying? He always, yeah. But then like I said, as I got
Yeah.
older and understood more what was going on, I was like, oh, this dude's he's legitimately the greatest of all time, like of all time.
Ever.
You know what I'm
Ever,
saying?
ever, ever.
Like there will never
Just
be anyone. There will
man, I
never
still
be
want a Ric
anyone like
Flair
Ric
robe.
Flair ever.
Still.
No,
Man,
Yeah,
just
I mean,
the
shit.
wrestling
Them young
skill and the
studs too.
gift of gab that he
You
had
be on
every time he
auction all the
grabbed the
time,
mic. That man could work a microphone.
oh, bro. They in the wrestling business, they always say you got to put butts in seats, and that's the way you do it is being able to talk. And no
Mm-mm.
one, and I mean
Completely
no
agree.
one, was better than that. Better at that rather than Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I mean his he's transcended culture. Yeah, like you know how hard it is to be a Southern white man and have almost every black man in America over the
Yeah.
age of 35 uh like like you, like legitimately think you a cool dude, not just like think you cool. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
crazy.
be that way. It's been that way for 30 plus
No,
years.
it's not.
You know what I'm saying?
And,
That's not
and that,
that's not an easy thing to accomplish, bro. You know? That's how you know he's cutting through. Like he's cut
yeah.
through, and like I'm saying, he's transcended culture all across the board. You know what I'm saying? Like that he went viral. I mean, what 4 or 5 years ago
Yep.
for a promo that he did 25 years prior
Yep.
because some NFL player was reciting this promo in a locker room, and then
Yep.
what's homie from the Migos Offset did the Ric Flair drip song. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I can't
he
dispute
is
that.
the greatest
The
professional wrestler
and
to
the way
have ever
you
lived.
explain why. That's
You know what I mean?
that's damn near indisputable right there. I got no issue with that whatsoever. That man is the greatest.
Yeah. And he made the reason he was so great is because he was uh he was selfless. He made everyone, especially his whole job was to go around the world, not just the country too, but around the world, and go get in the ring with whoever, whatever
Yeah.
that promotion's top star is, and make that person look like a star. You know what I
It's
mean?
crazy.
And he did it consistently for so long, man. You know, oh, hey, you know this
Man,
Hulk
I
Hogan.
wish Iron Sheik was still alive to give him another
He
earful,
said
man.
even he
You're a dumb son of a bitch.
man fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Oh man, long live the Iron
Cheesy baby
Sheik.
say fuck the Hulk Hogan.
So, who were some of your favorite managers?
Right on, man.
Yes.
But yeah, ooh, I mean Heenan's the goat. And then uh, people. I like Jim
Yeah.
Cornette, but Jim Cornette can, he sometimes he can be a little too passionate and overzealous. But I do like Jim Cornette. I think he was great. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I like Sherry
Oh
Martel
man.
when she wasn't
Yeah.
wrestling and she was a manager. She was always good. I liked her when she was paired up with Harlem Heat when she was Sister Sherry. She was wearing all that dark makeup, trying to look like a black woman. You know what I'm saying? Let's see.
Yep.
Who's another good man? I like Slick.
Peanut
When
Head.
he was around. Shit. When
Yeah.
Teddy Long was a manager, when he was managing Ron Stewart and Butch Reed. Oh, when they were doomed, the tag team. And he managed the Undertaker. When the
Skyscrapers.
Undertaker was in WCW, him and he was in a tag team with Dan
Man.
Spivey. They were called
Yo,
Skyscrapers. That's right. Teddy Long was their
man.
manager. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Who was another good manager I like? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't necessarily like Brother Love as a manager, but I listened to Bruce Pitcher's podcast a lot, and it kind of it kind of made me a fan later in life. Oh, because like I said, I understand what he was doing a little bit more. But back then, when he was on
I
TV
had
and
the same exact
when it was in
reaction.
real time, I was like, "Who is this red faced motherfucker? Get him off the screen!"
Brothers and
You know what I'm saying?
sisters, I
Bro, that man was like a
love you. Oh man, Teddy Long is always going to be good in my book because that cat used to have matching colored
man.
do rags with his suits. He
That man
sure
ain't had no
did.
hair on top either. That man had like
None.
had that wet George Jefferson Jerry curl with the do rag on top of it,
I
with no hair
I
up
was
under
a
there.
big.
With no hair up under there at all, boy.
I'm telling you, boy, he was something else. I was
Man,
a big fan of Mr.
the Jerry
Fuji
curl
too.
drip mullet with nothing on top.
Man, so who are some of your? Go ahead.
Yeah, I forgot about Fuji. He was good. He was good. I tell you,
I don't remember him.
I didn't like Paul Jones, number one Paul Jones, because his promos were terrible.
Okay.
He used to manage Manny Fernandez and Rick Rude.
So
He was bad. You shouldn't remember.
really,
Paul Ellering's still around.
I ain't
He's in
heard that name in
WWE right
forever.
now, managing a tag team called Authors of Pain. Yeah,
Precious
Paul
Paul.
Ellering from like way back in the day.
Wow, man, I
Precious
tell you,
Paul
I'm
Ellering. He's
was a
still
big Mike
managing. He's still
Rotunda
managing
fan
now.
too. I like, yeah, Bray Wyatt, man, R.I.P.
Yeah,
Because he had the
man. Rest in peace,
wasn't his finishing move the
Bray
helicopter
Wyatt.
airplane spin? That's what it was. But man, my favorites, man.
Airplane
Arn
spin.
Anderson too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
I liked him when he was in the Varsity Club, that faction,
Yep.
and it was him, Rick Steiner, and
Stay.
Dr. Dusty
Yeah.
Williams, and they all used to wear
Man,
their
Dr.
college
Death. He
singlets
had that
to the
Oklahoma
ring.
Stampede finishing move.
Oklahoma, Syracuse, and Michigan.
Yep.
There was that big old power slam, and of all people, Kevin Sullivan was a manager, like the guy that's like a demon was managing like a bunch of college
Yeah,
athletes.
you're right. Man, so
But
who are some of your favorite
that's how
current
silly
wrestlers?
wrestling is. It worked. You know what I mean? So, right now if you
Mm-hmm.
follow me on social media, you should know this easily. I am a huge Bianca Belair fan, like big time. So, I love Bianca. I like Jade Cargill. I really dig Swerve Strickland over in AEW.
Street Profits.
I like Bianca's husband and his tag team partner, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins of Street Profits. I'm a big Shinsuke Nakamura fan, big time. Love Shinsuke. I dig AJ Styles because he's a phenomenal athlete, no pun intended. Uh, there's a guy in NXT right now who I'm real high on named Obafemi. That dude's gonna be a main event star one day. Um, Shit. Who else on the AEW side that I like besides Swerve? I like Darby Allin because he's a fucking lunatic. Uh, I like the Lucha Brothers because Pentagon and Ray Fingers they're crazy. The Young Bucks are kind of getting stale to me. I used to dig them, but they're the gimmick that they're using right now. I'm not really a big fan of. I like FTR though. Speaking of teams from the Carolinas, I like FTR because I can tell that they grew up on the wrestling that I grew up on, and they kind of wrestle in a way that holds true to that era of wrestling, but also keeps it fresh and new
What
for what's
organization are
current
they
right now.
wrestling in?
So I really like FTR big
Okay.
time. Uh, they in AEW right now. So they actually wrestled today actually on that pay per view I'm about to watch. Uh, and shit, who else I like? You can't. I mean, you can't not like Roman Reigns because he's probably legitimately. I saw a clip of John Cena on Shannon Sharp's podcast, and he made a really good point about how Roman Reigns is legitimately and should legitimately be in the consideration
Mm-hmm.
for the greatest wrestler of all time. And you don't think about that because he's active currently or whatever. But the way Cena broke it down, I was like, oh man, you know what? You might be right. And if it were coming from
Yeah,
someone other than John Cena, you know what I mean? You might brush it off, but that's John Cena. You know what I mean? Who's also in the conversation for possibly greatest wrestler of all time. You know, you can make a real case for that accolade on his behalf. But he was making the point for Roman, saying that you know, uh, for the last 10 or 12 years, WWE has seen more growth than it
Roman
ever
Reigns.
has in the history of the company. And for the last 10 or 12 years, who's been on top? Roman. Whether you whether you liked him, whether you liked, when Vince was trying to shove him down our throat, pause, uh, and everybody was rebelling against him, and they even put the Rock next to him, and they still got booed, even during that time, and until and when he had to go away for a minute to treat his leukemia, and then he came back and came back during the pandemic and beat the shit out of the
Yeah,
Fiend and won the belt in 2021 and kept it for 4 fucking years. You know what I mean? So and all of that substantial growth for WWE,
that's
and
true.
growth for WWE means growth for the business, for the professional wrestling business, because no matter how you slice it, WWE is the top dog. They the major leagues, they the NBA, they the Premier League, they the top of the top of the top. You know what I'm saying? And all that time, through all that time, the guy who's been
That's
the
true.
most consistently on top, the top dog, has been Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? He carried he carried WWE to this unprecedented growth. And I was like, man, when you put it in
Yeah,
terms
that's
like
true.
that, and hearing somebody like John Cena say it, it's hard to argue against it, bro. You know what I mean? It's hard to argue against it. And now uh
Still.
there's not even a creative argument you can have anymore, because this bloodline storyline that's still going on. This storyline's been going on for almost
Yeah.
5 years now. Still going on. And it's still relevant. And it's still at the top of the card. And
Yep.
Roman, you know what I'm saying? And Roman been gone for what, 3 or 4 months, And and now
Yep.
you
You're
insert him
right.
back into that storyline, and now it's must see TV again. Just like that. So I mean, there's a strong case to be made for Roman Reigns being the best there ever was. You know, uh, I'm still going. I'm a Flair guy, and so I'm still going to hold on to saying Flair is the best ever. But I could be convinced that Roman could be when it's all said and done, and
Word.
he's wrapped
So
it up.
now we're going to
I
go
could
from
easily be
wrestling
convinced that
to
Roman is
talking
the best
about,
ever.
well, what you're wearing right now. All things Tennessee Volunteers, man. So let's get into it. Orange.
Oh, let's go Vols. I got my good Reggie
Really?
White
I didn't know
throwback
that.
on. Chattanooga native Reggie White. Let's go. Yeah, he's Chattanooga, Tennessee, born and raised.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. When he signed his that free agent deal, when he
Wow.
went to Green Bay,
I never knew that.
came back to Chattanooga and signed it. He signed that deal in his high
Man, so
school
let's
auditorium in
get into it,
Chattanooga.
man.
Yeah, he's from Chattanooga, man. Speaking of,
No
that's the
kidding.
first game. That's the Tennessee. Their first game this year is against UTC, against Chattanooga.
Oh man. Neyland Stadium
Yeah,
is
that's their
still
first
on my
game of the
bucket
season.
list
It's on
too.
it's on the same day as Twankle and Glisten. It's on the 31st.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
that's
place is
that's
humongous,
wild.
bro. It's like 110,000 people. I'm excited for this season though, man. Like I'm not I keep up just to, because I'm a fan, but I'm not deep in the trenches like I used to be. But I do know that everyone seems to be real high on this on the quarterback they got this year. Nico Ayama Ayama La Malaveo, something like that. I can't pronounce his last name. But but everyone seems to be real high on him. So I'm eager to see what he's gonna do on the field, man. See
Yeah.
because the SEC is a little bit more wide open with this expanded playoff. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really necessary for you to. The only thing you need to do is just win enough to get in the playoff. You ain't got to necessarily win your conference anymore to guarantee a spot. So, and the SEC East, man, outside of Georgia, Georgia's Georgia. Uh, but
Yeah.
SEC East, it's gonna be pretty competitive. All the teams in the
Oh, I
East,
forgot about that.
and you got Texas and Oklahoma joining the conference now. So
Wow. That's still hard to wrap my mind around.
that's right. Yeah, Texas and Oklahoma are gonna be in the SEC this year.
I don't either. I don't either.
I
Yeah.
don't like it, bro, at all.
Yeah, you're right. So, who are some of your
It's that money, man.
let's say
That
your
money
favorite?
talk. That money
What are
talk
some of your
bullshit
favorite
walk, bro.
volunteer sports moments growing up?
Shit, 98 BCS championship, BCS national championship. I just saw Tee Martin when I was in New Orleans. Uh, I saw him. I was at a gig with my homie DJ JC, um, and my homegirl Cernette. She has a boat ride that she does uh every uh every year in New Orleans for Essence Fest. And Cernette, my homegirl Cernette, she's from Mobile, and so is Tee Martin. And Tee Martin and her brother
Mm-hmm.
grew up together. So I was on the boat chilling, just hanging out, and I kept seeing this. I was like, this dude looked wild familiar, bro, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Yeah, I couldn't figure out why. I was like, why do I know that dude, bro? You know what I'm saying? It's like I know him. And then they came and introduced me because it was like, hey, he's like, hey, this is my friend Wally. He's a big Tennessee fan. He's like, what's up, man? I'm Tee Martin. I was like, I knew who you were, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was cool, man. He was super cool. Flicked it up with me. You know, I told him I told him I was like, man, they played you. They should have
Yeah,
gave you the head coaching job in Tennessee. But he's like,
I didn't know
the
that.
game is the game, bro. And
Yeah.
he's a quarterbacks coach for the Baltimore Ravens right now. So
Hey, there you
he's
go.
doing all right. Shit, he got himself an MVP last year, so he's doing okay. So, but yeah, man, Tee Martin, the national championship games was probably my favorite moment. Uh, I remember, uh, I remember in the early '90s when David Palmer was a quarterback at Alabama, and Tennessee beat them in the Sugar Bowl in the early '90s. That was a big moment. Uh, the Peyton Manning years when he was throwing the ball all over the place. Uh, shit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was some Lane. The first Lane Kiffin year before he split and went to USC wasn't it wasn't all it wasn't people people are upset rightfully so because he bounced. But in Lane's defense, before he took this job or took the job at Tennessee, I don't want to say this job like I gave him the job. Before he took the Tennessee job, he said he told everybody he's like, look, the only job that I will
No.
leave this job for
Yeah.
is if USC calls. And USC called and he split. Can't be mad at him. He told you what he was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? He's like, this is the only job that I did. And they called. He was out. But that year that he did coach was I thought that was he was not
True.
the typical run of the mill good old boy Tennessee type coach, and I thought that level of change was good for the football program. And then they tried to bring they made the fatal error and choosing someone who was
Yeah, I
like
remember him.
who was anti Lane Kiffin
Whew.
and Derek Dooley, and boy, them some rough years. It was some rough years, you know. But I mean, they had
I
that
forgot
whole Greg
about that.
Schiano fiasco where they was gonna hire him, and the fans were like, "No fucking way, we don't want him." Uh, yeah, and
Yeah.
I never seen a fan base like affect the coaching search in that manner. That was crazy. That was crazy. Then you had Bush Davis after that. That wasn't no good either. You know what I mean? Uh, But now I think they pardon me. I think they found the right person in Josh Heupel. Um, he seems to be the right type of fit for what the Tennessee fan base
Yeah.
is used to, and he understands the player of today. You know what I mean, and the way the game works with the transfer portal and all these new bells and whistles in college football that weren't a thing in the past. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for Tennessee football every year. You know what I mean? Like I've learned to keep myself even keeled. My whole thing about being a Tennessee fan, I tell people all the time, like, man, just win 6 games. That's all. Just win 6.
Yeah.
So I know y'all going to a bowl game. That's all. That's all I want.
There you
That's
go.
all I want from y'all.
Have
as
you
a
ever
fan.
been
Win
to a
6 games.
game at Neyland?
And that'll keep me happy at least.
Okay.
Nah,
Yeah,
I haven't.
word.
I've driven past
Also,
many
and
times, but I never
speaking
actually
of
been to a
bucket
game.
list, man, in
What's
Tennessee,
my bucket list?
that Braves Reds game is going to be at Bristol. I'm trying to go to that next year. Yeah. But man, I tell you what,
That might be crazy.
I was heavily invested in the Volunteers during the Peyton Manning years because I used to love watching Joey Kent and Marcus Nash at wide receiver. I used to love watching him play. And then you had Leonard Little and what was the other line? It was Al something. Yep. Sure was. He was a linebacker at Tennessee too.
That played for the head coach of the Patriots now, Jerome
Man.
Hill.
And Jamal Lewis.
Man, it's crazy you get Nash. The last time we spoke, remember I was telling you about Sean Dustin came to my church, right? So
really,
pastor at that church.
Wow.
His daughter was married.
Small
married
world.
Nash.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're still married.
For real.
They were married at one point.
Okay.
Yeah, ain't that a trip?
So instead of doing the 5-question segment to close the show out, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. A little thing called a few of my favorite things. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna name a rapper and you just tell me your favorite song by them. So I'm gonna start off with Cameron.
Okay.
Good call. Yeah.
Oh.
T.I.
Down and out. Well, Kanye. Yeah. Woo. Big T.I. fan. I got so many T.I. favorites, but this one makes me jump out my seat every time I hear it. It's called What They Do with BG.
Man, I like I think Talking to You was my favorite T.I. song off the King album. Yeah, you not lying.
It's a good one.
Ballin' G.
So many good ones. Woo! The easy answer would be Space Age Pimpin', but that's not going to be my answer. My answer is going to be
Word. Can't go wrong with that either.
From the first album, Coming Out Hard.
Man, oh God.
That good.
My favorite Ballin' G song is off of Coming Out Hard. I can't remember the name of the song. It's the one 8 Ball's going, see, I'm from Tennessee. What curls and gold teeth. Yeah. You have conversations with me about the way I the way I dress,
everywhere I go,
about how my gold teeth look so fresh. That's my shit. And I can't see this.
How my gold teeth.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's Pimps.
Ghostface.
Yeah, man, that's good. That's a good one.
Ooh, good call. Man, I wasn't expecting that one.
Ooh, Ghost Showers.
Ghost showers is the sound of the power. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my shit,
yeah. Yep. I have to go with Scene for my favorite Ghostface song off of Bulletproof Wallets. Just a story they told, and then Mooney ended up getting like the kids ganged up on him and then threw him out the window it was such a vivid story they told. Yeah. The last Mr. Big.
Vivid storytelling, right? Vivid.
Hey, there you go.
Oh man, get your 12 white
Man,
folks, take that shit to trial,
I'm
bitch.
gonna have to switch it
Like,
up.
you know
I
what I'm
might have
saying?
to go with I'm gonna go with Dope
That's
Man Bitch
easy.
for that one. That's my favorite. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a
I
good one.
love that album,
That's a
man.
good
I
one.
play that joint
I
from
never
front to
even played
back.
that one. You just reminded me. I might play that on Tuesday on the stream.
He was. Well, Maysville, Alabama, boy.
Yeah, he was
All right,
crazy that
Crit.
whole album. Yeah.
Word.
Rotation. That's easy. That's my favorite. That's my favorite Crit song. I
Mm-hmm.
love that song so much. You would think I would probably say something that I'm actually on because there's a bunch of them too, but Rotation by far is my number one Crit song. That's like to me, Rotation is like the perfect if you had to describe Crit in a business card,
Good call.
if you have to use a
I'm gonna go
song as
with
a business card to
my
describe Crit,
favorite
that
Crit
would be the
song. I'm
song
gonna
I
have to
would
go
use.
with The Bigger Picture. That's my favorite shit. Yeah. Let's go
Oh
with
yeah, from
Hove.
Can't Remember the Time. Good, so that's a good song. It's a very good song. Ooh,
Man,
Jigga Man.
that's my second favorite. Right behind my
Politician.
favorite is Friend of Foe 98. Um, yeah. Devin the Dude.
Oh, okay. All right. Not bad. Primo. All right. Anything or doobie ass trade, that's like 1 and 1A. But anything might be the one. Like that song be hitting me hard in the chest, bro. That song be making I be like, bro, that song be making me
Yeah,
happy
that
and sad.
damn.
It triggers all sorts of emotions in
Boy,
me.
I ain't listened to that
So
one in a long
I'll go with
time. I need to
anything.
go
That's a
back
good
to
one.
I need to go back
That's a
and listen to that
that's a
again.
great fucking song. Anything is and
Yeah.
nothing at
Man,
all.
I'm gonna have to go with
Anything you're playing, man. That shit is so
golly.
good, bro.
There's so many Devin songs. It's hard for me to pick just one. Doobie Ashtray is up. I have to go with
That doobie ass
I'm probably go with It's a Shame. It's a Shame is my favorite. Um and then last question. What's your favorite Three
okay.
Stacks guest verse?
Hmm. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
oh, a lot of people will probably say 16 from that Rick Ross record. That's not mine. I
Ooh.
think uh
Yeah.
I think mine is the DJ Unk Walk It Out verse because it was such a surprise.
Yeah.
It was a surprise. Like when it happened,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, that's three
Yeah.
stacks. It's like, oh, that's three stacks. That's really
Yeah.
three stacks rapping. And but on this song of all songs, you know what I'm saying? It was such a surprise. But then if you know anything about Outkast and Atlanta, that
Yep.
made complete sense. After once it happened, it's like this makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
But when it happened, it was like it was just such a shock and surprise to hear him on that kind of a record and
Yeah.
like not just
Yeah.
not
Walk
just
it out like
fooling
Usher.
around like he was
If you say
that was
real
showing
talk, I
up three
probably
stacks
won't trust you.
rapping. You know what I mean? So
Man.
yeah, that's probably my favorite.
Whoo. Yeah.
Mhm. Probably won't trust you. You know what I'm saying?
Word. I'm gonna have to go with
So
Sorry
that
by
was
T.I. That's my
that's
favorite
probably
Three
my
Stacks
favorite
guest
three
verse.
stacks guest verse.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one too. Yeah, that was a very good one. And I didn't think about that. I only listened to the song one time, but that
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not
I dig.
I don't really indulge into anything Kanye West
Yeah.
related anymore. But I know
Yeah.
that one song that he did. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but that verse was crazy. You know what I mean? I listened to that one time. I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, it's gonna
You
be a
know
while
what?
before I turn
Actually,
this on again. You know
I'm
what I'm
in
saying?
the
You know what I mean?
questions with What was the last thing that that really made you laugh?
Ooh, oh, somebody sent
Mm-hmm.
me a clip of this woman named in Virginia. She's like an on the streets reporter. Her name Rhoda Brown, and nothing makes me laugh more than seeing a good cussing out. You know what I'm saying? And somebody sent me a
Okay.
video of of this. She's not an actual news reporter, right? But she
Mm-hmm.
reports news. She's like that's kind of her like gimmick or whatever, for lack of a better word. Uh, she reports on like current events happening in whatever part of Virginia she lives in. Uh, and she does it like a news reporter, shoots it like a news reporter and everything, but she does not work for any news organization at all. But somebody sent me a video of her. Uh, she had gotten frustrated or something was going on, and she just started cussing out her cameraman. I don't know if she's necessarily cussing out her cameraman because I think she was a selfie, but she was just cussing at the camera, like just
And
literally just cussing in the void. It's the funniest fucking shit in the world, and bro, it's so funny. I I think her name is hold on. It's let me find it. Somebody sent it to me on TikTok.
okay,
Uh her name
Rhoda
is
Young.
Rhoda Brown. Rhoda Young. Her name's Rhoda Young. My
Yeah,
bad.
I'm gonna definitely check that
Yeah,
out.
Rhoda Young. And then I saw the one video that somebody sent me, and then there was another video that she had where she was cussing out her
Mm-hmm.
she had just broken up with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend was on the phone with his grandmother, and his grandmother was talking shit about her, and she just laid into this lady, bro. Man, that shit was so fucking funny. You know, nothing makes me laugh. The two things in life that will always make me laugh, right? A
Yeah,
whole black people cussing
I'm definitely
and
check that out.
toilet
Rhoda Young.
humor. You know
So
what I'm saying?
yeah, so go ahead and promote
You know,
Twankle and Glisten one more time for the
yeah,
people
she funny.
that are in the area. Let them know where they need to be.
Oh, I can do that, buddy. If you are in the Atlanta metro area, if you are surrounding the Atlanta metro area, if you are within 2 hours of the Atlanta metro area, and you can hear my voice through these lovely podcast mics presented to you all by the good brother Danny Foxworth, I want to encourage you all to come see Twankle and Glisten live in person August 31st, Labor Day weekend at the Loft in Atlanta, Georgia. We will be in Midtown, 1374 West Peachtree Street, Northwest, 30309. If you dig Dirty South Classics, I'm talking about show enough Dirty South Classics, 36 Mafia, 8 Ball and MJG, UGK, Project Pat, Pastor Troy, Ludacris, Lil Jon and Eastside Boys, T.I., Big Tuck, Slim Thug, Mike Jones, Scarface, Uncle Luke, Two Live Crew, Splack Pack, Kilo Ali. If you dig any of that shit, I'm telling you, man, you need to be in the place. August 31st, Labor Day weekend. You ain't got to go to work on Monday. Make a trip out of it. You know what I'm saying? Don't miss this. It's going down. I will be on the 1 and 2 doing my thing. My brother Duce the Great will be on the 1 and 2 doing his thing. My other brother, Supreme the DJ, is going to be on 1 and 2 doing his thing. And we're going to be playing these Dirty Side classics all night long. And on top of that, you got a happy hour for the first hour. Complimentary cocktails provided by Crown Royal. You need to get in where you fit in. So, once again, come get you a free drink after you buy a ticket at twinkleandglisten.com to come to Twankle and Glisten live August 31st, Saturday, Labor Day weekend. Dirty Side classes all night long. I
Hey,
don't
you
know how
never
many times
know.
I can
You
say it,
never
man. You ain't
know.
gonna
I
want to
mean,
miss
I ain't got to
this.
go to work Monday,
And it might
so
show up. And it might drive in for Charleston. You never know. You know what I'm saying? You know, you never, yeah, you never know, man. You know, but hey, I'm telling you, this is the place you want to be. You know what I mean? If you a Gen Xer like me, or you a millennial and you grew up on the good shit, and you know how we really used to party without all that bullshit like hookahs and auto service and all that dumb shit. You want to kick it like that for real? You want to kick it like we used to kick it? Come see Wally Sparks on August 31st. Come see Duce the Great on August 31st. Come see Supreme the DJ on August 31st. Twankle and Glisten, Dirty South Classics, all night long. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster, twankleandglisten.com, and DJWallySparks.com. You got all sorts of options. And I forgot to tell y'all, you can get 15% off if you use the code SOUTH at the checkout. So once again, if it ain't got through your thick ass skull yet,
that's how you sell it.
Twankle and Glisten is happening
at the Loft.
August 31st.
Yes, sir.
Labor Day weekend.
Man, bro, you mentioned Kilo Ali and Big Tuck. I'm like, see, this is how I know this is going to be a genuine Dirty South affair, man. Man, you know, I might have to pull up now. For real, for real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Word.
Come on, man. I put you on the guest list, man.
See, why you trying to make me cry? Why you trying to make me cry in the park, man?
I put you on the guest list, and you can bring somebody with you plus one. Come on, kick it, man.
Yes, sir.
It's a lovely Sunday, man.
I appreciate you coming on the platform to talk your shit.
I appreciate you invite me on your platform so I can talk this shit.
Man, you know it's always a treat chopping it up with you, man. Thank you so much for coming back on.
Right on.
So, man, make sure you like, download, or subscribe to Since We Last Spoke with Danny Foxworth. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel at Danny Foxworth 843. There you can find all the videos for the episodes for this podcast, as well as my baseball podcast, At the Plate with Danny Foxworth, which DJ Wally Sparks has been a guest on, and my new podcast, which is Growing Up Low Country with Liz and Danny. And for Wally Sparks and myself, this has been another episode of Since We Last Spoken. Until next time, y'all be good. Peace. Yeah, I'm dropping this one tomorrow.
Peace.